There are two main problems with the palette. They feel like really low budget, low quality. My eyelids started to hurt. The smell made me want to throw up. Of course, I'm not making this video just to hate on the products. These are the products that I really tried to love them. Like, they either made me mad or they didn't perform as they were advertised. I've prepared myself some cherry tea already. There are timestamps so you can skip to the part that you want to see more. We'll start with skincare and body care. I will not have a long story for each product, only for one. And this is the product that made me suffer a lot in the beginning of 2024 and the end of 2023. I'm the kind of person who is really prone to clogged pores, and I'm checking everything that goes on my skin very carefully in terms of ingredients. I don't know what happened. Before I went on my vacation last winter, I was in a rush where I was questioning, do I really need to check every single ingredient so carefully? And really not natural for me. I bought this cleanser. I just grabbed it. Like, I typically never just grab skincare just to buy something. I really don't know what got into my mind. I thought, well, it's Misha. They typically have nice products. Maybe I should trust skincare more. No, you should never trust a bottle of skincare or a brand. Anyway, this fucked up my... Oh, I cannot say that. This messed up with my skin a lot, to the point that the next 6 months I was trying to heal from that. Like, anyone who is prone to clogged pores, please remember how it looks. Never buy it. Never. There were 2 ingredients that were the cause of my clogged pores. Just a week of using this, with every day me noticing that, wait a second, something is wrong. Did I eat something bad? Was something wrong with my diet? But nothing has changed. Everything was okay with my diet. Everything was fine. It was just this awfulness. And after that, the next 6 months were terrible. I will try to attach some photos or videos, but I don't have much because I really hated my skin at that time. And I cannot imagine that one product can just destroy everything. It doesn't clean anything. It's just, please, do not buy it. I just proved myself that my obsession with checking skincare ingredients is justified. Let's move to this toner. It's a rice toner, as you can see. I really tried using it. I was committed to use the whole thing, but the story is the following. I go out of the shower and I apply it on my face. And my face is burning. Like, it's a little bit almost like I applied alcohol on my face. Like, it's really drying and unpleasant. And I'm thinking maybe my skin is just sensitive this day. Next day I apply it again, but this time I have some kind of irritation or some small spots. And those spots, they start to burn like I applied alcohol on them. Like, straight up alcohol. This toner will burn everything out of my skin. It burns like it's just alcohol. Not only that, but I absolutely don't see any effect. It's not hydrating, it's not brightening. Then I tried to use it on my body. I mean, the areas of my shoulders, the chest area, and my back. Because I have some spots like from acne. I just don't feel motivated to use it because it does nothing. The next things, we have 2 serums that I was not pleased with. These 2. This one, it doesn't do anything bad, thankfully, but it doesn't do anything good as well. I don't see any benefits from it. It should have 5 peptides, 5 peptide balance. Phyto EGF plus aquaporin, not sure what it does, containing 5 types of hyaluronic acid. No one needs 5 types of hyaluronic. No one needs 5 types of hyaluronic acid. Like, in general, I consider this ingredient as something and it's very sticky. It's so terribly sticky. My face becomes like, you feel like you just covered yourself in honey, and it's like super sticky, like a sugary syrup. The next thing, I was really afraid. I was thinking, is it going to clog my pores or it's not going to clog them? This one is Glow Dip Serum, Rice plus Alpha Arbutin. I think that this one is also popular or not, or it was some kind of another serum that was popular. Anyway, it's bad. I mean, it clogs my pores a little bit. I noticed it and I immediately stopped using it because after this, I have learned my lesson and I didn't see any brightening in my post-acne, and I had a lot. My skin didn't improve. I used it for like 15 days and at first everything was okay, and then after like 2 weeks I started to notice little by little these spots where I typically, if a product is not for me, my pores are going to be clogged somewhere here, like on my jawline. So no thanks. Again, Misha. Misha has some really nice products, but they also have some awful products. And this is their sunscreen, which is really strange. The same series of sunscreens. The blue one is my favorite sunscreen of all time. I used around 4 bottles of it, and this one is awful. I bought it when the blue one wasn't in stock, and I saw that this one is like a mattifying sunscreen with a cotton fitting system that helps absorb excess oil and reduce shine, leaves skin with a matte and non-sticky finish. And my skin is really oily during spring, autumn, summer, maybe only in winter it's not so oily. Even in winter, even now you can see how my oils are just coming through. And I thought, interesting, like cotton finish, it helps regulate my sebum. Nice, I will try this one. Maybe this one will be nice too. This is the most disgusting sunscreen I have ever tried. This is an awful product. I don't know who would like this. It leaves a really awful white cast, like you're a piece of printer paper, and you see that I'm already very pale. It is super white. It dries your skin to the point that I feel like my pores are just screaming, please stop, don't torture us. I have never felt that my skin is so dry. And anything that you're trying to put on top, like a foundation, concealer or BB cream, you just cannot layer anything on it. Every sunscreen that I don't like, I typically use it on my body. And when I tell you, I tried to use it on my body, and then I sat in the car and my legs, my arms, everything left white, like huge white spots. This is just a nightmare. And I realized that it's kind of hard to find a nice sunscreen. When sunscreen is bad, it's typically that it feels awful on the skin, or it clogs your pores, or it doesn't work well with makeup. One of the sunscreens that I didn't like again was this one, which is surprising to me. This one is the one that my boyfriend had, and I used it once and it was okay. And then I bought the same one. I used it a couple of times, everything was fine, and then one day I started to feel that my eyes are burning. On that day I thought, okay, maybe my eyes got sensitive, maybe I accidentally put retinol on them. Anything could happen, right? Then a couple of days later I'm applying it again and I feel like my eyes are burning so much that I don't know what to do. I started to panic and I went to wash my face. I'm really afraid to use it. I remember how much it hurt. This one was just unmatchable pain. This one, I don't have so much hate towards this one. I understand it's just not for my skin. I think it's going to be perfect for really dry skin because it's super hydrating. If I wouldn't know the ingredients, I would think that it's like oil based because it's really moisturizing, really thick, really hydrating. I was using it in summer, and when I applied it, my face looked really greasy, like a pancake. And I love how it works with makeup, but I don't like the feeling of it. This kind of thick layer of greasiness, not a fan. The next product is a lip product, and at first I bought it, I started to use it, I was amazed. My lips looked so hydrated, so even, so healthy by the end of this packaging. It was really weird, but this balm has a color, like a pink color. It felt like the balm has separated from that pigment. I could press on this packaging and only balm could come out, or only pigment, and it was kind of unpredictable. It was inconsistent. Sometimes only pigment comes out and you don't have any balm on your lips. And this pigment is strange. It looks patchy. It gives this kind of a little bit like minty burning sensation. It was a mess. The packaging has become a mess. The product has completely separated in 2 different layers. Unfortunately, by the time this happened, the next one has already arrived. And I tried to store it correctly this time. You know, I tried to store it just vertically because it typically would be somewhere in my makeup bag. And again, the same thing happened and even faster. And with this one, after the pigment has separated from the balm, I wanted to apply it during like making a video. And I swear when I'm saying this, the pigment has just squirted out of the bottle. It's like super strange. Find this on Amazon and read some negative reviews about it. People are speaking about it. And the last product from skincare is actually body care. This body lotion from Fruidia, thinking that it will smell like peach. Like I saw peaches on the bottle and I thought maybe it's going to smell like sweet peach, like fruity smell and all of that. I mean, maybe it smells like peach a little bit, but more like peachy candies. You know, these kind of candies that don't actually have any peach in them. Also, I typically use body lotion after I shave, and I wanted to deeply hydrate, kind of restore my skin after being exfoliated and damaged. And this one has alcohol in it or something, and it's just burning. I realize how it smells. It smells like a peach bubblegum, like peachy minty smell. No, thank you. And this actually finishes my part about skincare. I have this Dior, I don't even know what this product is. Anyway, you will see it on the screen. This is like a tint. This looks awful on my lips. It looks disgusting, to be honest. First, when you apply it, it looks nice and the color is really cute. Like an hour later, it gets all dry and you have all these like patches of color on your lips. And it was a period of time when I wasn't even biting my lips. This is absolutely awful product. Only the shade is cute. Now, to the kbeauty and cbeauty products. This Purito BB cream, Cica clearing BB cream. The problem I have with this one is that on my oily skin, it looks super greasy. It was definitely created for drier skin. And I recently tried it in a video, Get Ready With Me, but I'm only using the products that I hate. And actually now when my skin is much drier, and actually it sits pretty well, but still, all the shades, every single shade is leaning orange. And I also look orange, and then when you apply it, it oxidizes a little bit and I look even more orange after some time. And yeah, it's just unflattering for my skin tone. But if you have a really warm golden undertone, I think that it actually might be for you. The other two products, which are cbeauty, one of them is kbeauty. I've been looking for a liquid contouring for a long time, and I like really cool toned contouring to create shades, not to bronze anything. But this one is it's quite hard to blend, and even after you blend it in real life, this contouring looks like too pigmented. It's so pigmented that I have like dark spots on my face, and I saw myself on like videos and photos with like really sharp and dark line here, even though I was blending it for like a long time. So it's really hard not to overdo it. I'm a person who doesn't have so much time like to be so careful with a product. I prefer something that is easy to use. Let's discuss the other contouring that I have, which is Basic V-Cut Blending Shading Contouring in the shade Cool Blending 02. This one made me like super mad. I expected it to be really lightly pigmented like any Korean contouring, and this light pigment gives you the possibility to go very light-handed and create really beautiful, really natural looking shades. This thing doesn't have pigment at all. It doesn't do anything. And the worst thing is that when I'm trying to pick up more product, to apply a little bit more, to see at least some shade, it just gets patchy and unblendable. I see the shade, but I cannot blend it. Like, it stays on the place where I placed my brush first, and it doesn't blend anywhere. It just stays like a dark spot. It's so strange. It's such a strange product. It's like underwhelming, underperforming, and then it gets like super patchy and unblendable. How is this possible? Let's move to the blush, or should I say multi-use balm. This one is from Girl Code. This one is Peach Festival Collection. It's really beautiful. The smell is terrible. It smells like sweet car tire. It's also really far from a blush. There is no red pigment when I'm applying it on my skin. It's just like I'm applying something goopy and sticky. If this would work like a blush, if this would have any color, like on the swatches, then I would probably try to use it. But yeah, my biggest disappointment is that it doesn't really have any color to it. Like, is there anything? It's really hard to tell. It's more of a transparent balm for me. Another blush is from Roman from their black collection, which is called Berry Dawn. I bought this blush for its color. This kind of muted rosy pink, a little bit of a I'm really tired color. It looks so beautiful in the pan. It looked so beautiful on the pictures. And unfortunately, on my skin, it is just red. I know that it's hard to believe. I will try to include a video where I'm applying it, but it's just red. And it's also not very lasting. So what I typically do, I typically use one of my favorites, cbeauty blush from Girl Code in the shade Black Fua. It's the shade number 18. Mine is like really used, you can tell. And on my face, the color of this blush is the same as the color of this blush. I know it's hard to believe. I was shocked as well. So what I typically do, I use this one, even though I can use it by itself. Like it has a very strong staying power, but just so that I can use a little bit of that as well, I powder it on top with this powder blush. Alright, the last complexion product is going to be this little stick. This one is a highlighter from Juicy. It's a really thin and small stick. A unique part of this one is that it's, you know, it's flexible. Like, oh my god, I almost broke it. I wanted to say that it's flexible like this, but apparently not so flexible. Yeah, be careful please. And it's fun, but I don't see it as a highlighter at all. It's really hard to blend. The moment you apply it, you have like half a second to blend it, and I don't really see it as a highlighter. I use it on my eyes. It looks nice. It has like a cooling effect, but it smells awful. Oh my god. I don't really want to use it because of that. Because of this like bouncy texture, the smell of something like car tire plus some really old hand cream. I just don't reach for this product. But the concept is really cute and I like that it's so small. Let's see some eyeshadow that I didn't like. Let's start with a single eyeshadow, which is Blessed Moon Like a Shadow in the shade Bubbly. Now, let me tell you, Blessed Moon packagings, I have 3 products of Blessed Moon. They feel really cheap. They feel like really low budget, low quality. This one, do you hear the sound when I'm trying to open it? It looks the following way. It's beautiful on the swatch, but the problem I have with these ones is the fact that my eyes hurt when I have them on. I remember how I did my makeup. I applied those, my eyelids started to hurt so much that I needed to wash off my makeup. Typically, this never happened to me. I checked the expiration date, they're not expired. It's just something about those eyeshadow that, I don't know, apparently it's just painful to wear them. And they have a beautiful shine, but nothing too unique. Let's move to this Wake Make palette. I know I will be hated for this because so many people like them and I really wanted to like them as well. I didn't buy this with my own money. Yes Style sent it to me for a review. There are 2 main problems with the palette. First one is that the palette is really chalky. Almost like these are not eyeshadows. They're all white based, and even for me, it's too much white, like they're super white. One of the most unpleasant things, I thought, okay, at least maybe I can rely on these shimmers. Maybe not with this palette. I'm not sure what's wrong with it, but it doesn't stick on your eyelid. It falls under your eyes, and all of these shiny sparkles, all of them fall under your eyes. It doesn't even look like you've been crying. It looks like you are applying your shimmer all over your face. I still remember how I made the first makeup trying this palette and I couldn't understand what's wrong. I didn't apply any shimmer under my eye, but all the shimmer was under my eye, on my cheeks, like it was everywhere but not on my eyelids. Hey guys, let me give you a little update on this palette. So at the moment when I was filming the video, this was my most recent product. I used it only 3 times. And after I filmed the video, I thought that it's not fair to critique a product so much if I used it maybe 3 or 4 times. So I decided to challenge myself and I took this with me for my 2 weeks trip. Not only that, but I also didn't take my blush, which It's hard to believe I cannot live without a blush. And I also didn't take any contouring because I was planning to use this palette as much as I can for eyeshadow, for contouring, and for blush. And now, after I've been using it for 14 days straight, I'm ready to tell you my feedback on every single shade in the palette. Starting with this row, I believe it was the least used. I was trying to use this one for contouring. I already have a swatch here. Unfortunately, this one is too dark for me for contouring. It also leans quite red on my face because I have a pink undertone. This one is too light for my contouring. This one is too light, and on my eyes it also leans quite red. Even on my hand you can see that it's a reddish color. This one is like a base color. I used it on my eyelids just to blur the skin on them. It's not visible on the eyelids at all. I would like to say a word about these eyeshadows. These are matte eyeshadows with pearls. They look absolutely beautiful, but on my eyelids, the matte base separates from the pearls. They look really beautiful on the swatch. However, when I'm applying them, the matte base separates from the pearls, and the pearls are looking inconsistent and just not flattering. So I ended up using these three the least. Let's talk about this row, the lightest one. These are very not lasting shades. There is not so much difference between them. Maybe these two lean and make your eyelid look a little bit colder, but that's it. They are not very lasting. I tried them on my eyelids. I tried to use them on my aegyo style, especially this one and this one. They create a beautiful aegyo style, but unfortunately, it's not lasting at all. I remember making my aegyo style, going to breakfast in the hotel, and then coming back and nothing. There is nothing on my eyelid anymore. Even though I'm using the setting spray, I set my makeup, and it's very unfortunate because they're beautiful on the swatch. But they also look very similar both on the swatch and on the eyelid. As you can see, they look really pale, really white, almost like it's the same color. These two look very similar both on the swatches and on your eyes. They also don't have like big lasting power, and I remember it because I was using these two as my blush, mostly this one, and I remember my blush just fading really fast. And I don't like when my blush fades away because typically I apply it in the morning and I come back home late in the evening. I'm on vacation the whole day, I'm walking around. So I really don't like when my blush is just fading away. So these two colors are not good for a blush because they're just fading away so quickly. They're not lasting as well. Now these two are good. They have a good staying power. I've been using them only as my blush, and they made my blush stay on my face for a long time. So they're really staying. As you can see, they're a little bit brighter. I didn't use them on my eyes because I typically don't use really bright colors on my eyes, but as a blush it's great. I was mixing them together because this one would give like a pinkish color, which is a little bit warmer, but together with a purple color for my undertone, it gives exactly the cold pink blush that I like and I enjoy using. And the last three, I would like to say that these two, this shimmer and these like sparkling pearls, these two are the best shades in this palette. This shimmer is so thin that you can use it as a highlighter, which is what I did. I am typically not a highlighter person. I think that with a flash it's much more visible, but in the natural light the pearls are not visible at all. They're so small, and this is really good for my inner corner and as my highlight. I was using it on my nose, on my cheekbones. It's really beautiful highlighter, and these pearls are really beautiful as well. They are really cold. Look at them. As you can see, they have pink and blue pearls, which creates this kind of purple shine It's really beautiful. It's really beautiful on the eyes, and it's really subtle. The particles are not big, so on your eyes it looks like you have this kind of like magical shine almost. It's really beautiful. This one unfortunately is like the biggest disappointment in the palette for me. This one has bigger particles than this one, and it looks really, let me see which, and it looks really, really beautiful on the swatch, on the hand. Look at this. It looks really beautiful with these bigger particles. However, this is exactly the one that doesn't stick to your eyelid, and these particles, they're almost uncontrollably are falling under your eye, and it looks really, really unbeautiful. All of this beautiful shine just goes under your eyes, on your cheeks, all over your face, but it doesn't stay on your eyes, which is really unfortunate. As you can see, I used it a lot only because I was taking it and I was applying it on my hair for my New Year makeup. I decided, okay, if these are really, really loose, I will just apply it on my hair. And unfortunately, it messed up the palette a little bit. It added a lot of pearls in the matte colors, but I think that at this point I have cleared it. So yeah, this is the feedback on every color and the way I've been using every color. So far, for the price that it is, I would say that I liked and used only like 5 shades, which is not enough for me to say that it's a good palette. I'm pretty sure that the moment I have a palette with a very similar color story, I will stop using it and I will forget about this one. Alright, let's move on to the lip products. I have quite some disappointments here, starting with Blessed Moon again. The packaging feels super cheap. What's wrong with this brand? This one is Fluffy Lip Tint in the shade 1, Cheese. This shade is very different from what it is on the swatch. Hi, it's editing me. Sorry for being messy, but this is the way it is. I'm actually in my finals season, so don't judge me. So basically, as I'm editing this video right now, I really don't like the way I'm trying to tailor the message to you, and I don't want to include footage that I really don't like. I really wanted to give some details about this stupendous lip product. First of all, the texture of the product and the way it performs are really, really strange. It feels like butter on the lips. It feels a little bit greasy, but also it feels like it's just on the surface of your lips, and any kind of movement with your mouth, like what I'm doing when I'm speaking, right? It completely destroys this lip product, and I feel like the pigment that I apply here, with the movement of my lips, it goes somewhere here on the corners. And a couple of times when I was wearing this lipstick or whatever it is, I was finding myself with this kind of like kimchi mouth. You know, when you eat a lot of spicy stuff, the contours of your lips, they become a little bit irritated and red. This is how I was finding myself after like a couple of hours. And the thing that I hate the most about this product is that it accentuates my lip lines a lot. It looks like it was designed to go in the lip lines. I've never even known that I have so many lip lines before I started to try the product. So yeah, it's a big disappointment. Another bad thing to this one is the smell. If a lip product smells bad, I cannot wear it because it's so close to my nose that I will constantly smell this. Another product that I really didn't like, because the shade was completely different from what was advertised. It was Girl Code Lip Glaze 4 Great Inventions in the shade M59. I'm just looking my order, and this is how the shade was advertised. You see this kind of like dusty pink leaning. I really expected something like that, and what arrived to me is just unbelievable. At first I thought that I was giving a wrong shade, but it wasn't the case. This was actually the shade. It was really dark brick red. I was shocked that the swatch can be so different from what the product actually is. I want to believe that this is some kind of mistake, that it's like a mistake on the factory, that they didn't label, didn't mark it correctly. Because I don't understand how. I don't have this lipstick anymore. I gave it to my mother. She liked the color, so I decided to give it to her. And since we're talking about it, I'm not going to bring it. It's in one of my bags, but I will make sure that I'm putting the screenshot from the video. And it is Flotte or Florette. I don't remember the name of the brand. Good Friends multi-purpose blush in the shade 05. Again, very different. Like, it's advertised as like a muted red plus light pink color. And I received again like a brick dark red and an orange color. Believe me, my eyes are not lying to me. I would never, ever order anything orange. I really don't like orange color. I would never order like orange eyeshadow, orange blush, or orange lipstick. I really hate when brands do this with swatches. When they give us unrealistic swatches. Like, what is that? In which year are we living that you cannot make a swatch that is representative of the colors? Let's move to the last two lip products. And these are these two guys that make me super mad. Like, I really hate those products. This one is really popular and it's actually not that bad in terms of a formula. I don't consider it as very lasting. It says non-sticky dazzle tint. It's actually non-sticky. It's really thin on the lips. Shimmer and glossy lip. I'm not sure what they mean by shimmer. There is no shimmer in this one. And the lips are not very glossy with this one as well. They actually look very natural. But you will ask me, why are you hating it? Huh? The smell makes me want to throw up. It smells like peach, but again, it's this kind of very artificial candy, like bubblegum peach, like a dessert that is called peach, but there is no peach in the ingredient list. So yeah, I just cannot physically apply it because of the smell. This one is again from Romand Black Spectrum collection. This is a glossy melting balm in the shade Berry in Pink. It looks like a dark grape color, but it's actually a pH adjusting lip balm. And it's actually the worst thing about it, because first you apply it, like the first 3 seconds, it looks nice, like a darkish grape color, really beautiful. And then it starts to turn bright pink, super bright, almost like I have some kind of infection on my lips. Why didn't they make it like an actual transparent darkish grape color? I don't get it. Why? I will apply it on my lips right now so that you can see how it turns from a nice color into a color that is not nice. Like, you see how my upper lip is more purple than the lower one. It also has a sweet smell, but it's really unnoticeable. The purpleness of it starts to fade a little bit. Like, it could be a really nice, like mysterious, a little bit moody color. They decided not to go for it. Anyway, that was it. You can see how extra bright my lips are at the moment. I really hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the best products. Bye bye.